Welcome to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that really shapes your whole day, whether you realize it or not. The morning routines of, well, really successful people. Our mission. We've got this stack of great source material, articles, research, you name it, and we want to dig into it, pull out the key knowledge, maybe some surprising facts, and those really actionable insights about how these folks kickstart their day. Basically, we want to help you figure out what's actually important and maybe find some powerful shifts for your own life.
That's a really good point because, when we talk about morning routines, it's easy to think of these like super elaborate multi-hour things. But the truth is, everyone has a morning routine, even if it's just 5 minutes long, maybe hitting snooze. What we found looking at these sources, and we're talking everyone from tech CEOs, athletes, media bosses, is that these routines, however long, are really intentional. They're about setting up the whole day for success, often way before most people are even thinking about getting up.
Okay, let's dig into that. One of the main ideas that jumps out, especially from Laura Vanderkam, she wrote, what the most successful people do before breakfast is that mornings are, well, just a perfect time to set yourself up. What makes that time so powerful, really, beyond just it being quiet?
That's a great question. It's definitely more than just the quiet. What's interesting is how that personal time, it's not just about avoiding interruptions, it actually turns into this deliberate mental prep.
Hmm.
Hannah Pryor, she's a workplace performance expert. She calls it building mental scaffolding.
Mental scaffolding, I like that.
Yeah, think of it like creating a solid structure for your mind before, the day's chaos tries to push you over. It's about being proactive right from the start, not reactive.
That proactive versus reactive thing that really hits home. It's not just doing something early. It's about deliberately shaping your mindset. And for some people, it looks surprisingly simple. So what are the common ways these successful folks actually make that mental shift, besides just putting the phone down?
Well, Pryor's first tip for that scaffolding is start off strong. Now, for lots of us, starting strong might mean grabbing the phone, right, and falling into that doom
Oh,
scroll.
yeah, the doom
Yep.
scroll. Or jumping straight into emails.
Exactly, which can just drain you. But Pryor says, no, elevate your thinking right away. Maybe listen to a quick podcast, read a poem, a short article that's inspiring. It's about feeding your mind on purpose.
And we definitely see that in action with some really big names,
Yeah.
but in like totally different ways. Satya Nadella, Microsoft CEO, he wakes up at 7 a.m., gets his 8 hours, by the way, and the very first thing, he asks himself, what are you thankful for? He calls it a grounding ritual.
That's a perfect example of that deliberate mental prep. Then you have someone like Ariana Huffington, from Thrive Global. She makes a big point of not looking at her phone first thing. Instead, she'll take time to meditate or maybe write down her dreams, both very reflective, kind of inward-looking ways to start.
And Jeff Bezos, this one's kind of a favorite. He likes to putter, reads the paper, has coffee, breakfast with his kids. He actually emphasizes how important this puttering time is, which really goes against that image of the super intense CEO, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. And it kind of challenges that idea that success always means being frantic. What's really interesting is why someone like Bezos prioritizes it. It achieves the same thing, that mental scaffolding, just like Nadella's gratitude or Huffington's meditation. It's about a calm, deliberate start where they control their headspace before the world rushes in.
That's a great way to put it, the underlying principle. Okay, so once that mental groundwork is sorted, where do they channel that energy? This brings us to another big theme: embrace exercise. It comes up again and again as this fantastic way to boost not just physical energy, but mental health, clarity.
Yeah, the commitment to moving seems, well, pretty consistent, actually, though
Yeah.
what they do varies a lot. Satya Nadella, again, he makes it a daily thing, hits the gym for 30 minutes, doesn't matter where he is.
Right.
Whitney Wolfhard from Bumble tries to get in 30 minutes of strength training. Gary Vaynerchuk, he works out with a trainer maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
And others do totally different things. Rich Roll, the ultra-endurance athlete, he often trains first thing, swim, run, bike sometimes before he even eats. Tim Cook at Apple, he's famously at the gym by 5 a.m.
Wow, 5 a.m.
Yeah. And even Barack Obama, when he was president, worked out first thing. Alternated weights and cardio. He really believed it made the rest of his day more productive.
And Bill Gates used to spend an hour on the treadmill, but get this, watching DVDs from the Great Courses series, so exercise and learning.
Combining them smart.
And Anna Wintour from Vogue, she plays tennis in the morning. So you see, the specific activity isn't the point.
Right, it's the intention.
Exactly. It's about stimulating the body and mind. It tells us that for our own routines, the goal isn't just ticking the exercise box, but finding movement that actually serves your needs for the day.
That makes sense. It's about the why. Hey, speaking of stimulating the brain, here's a really interesting one, maybe a bit unexpected. Eat something new.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Apparently, Chef Farn Adria used to eat a different fruit every single day to stretch his creative palate. And Pryor suggests this isn't just about food, it's a small disruption.
A disruption. How so?
Well, it subtly signals your brain to stay open to novelty, to risk-taking later on, like just swapping blueberries for kiwi in your yogurt trains your brain to handle the unfamiliar, stay agile. It's like a little mental workout.
Huh. That's actually pretty clever. But then you look at others and they do the complete opposite, which makes it even more interesting. Sarah Blakely, the Spanx founder, she has the exact same smoothie every single morning for consistency.
Total opposite.
Totally. And then there's Warren Buffett, starts his day with a Coke. Actually, he drinks like 5 Cokes a day, says it's a quarter of his calories.
And a Coke for breakfast. Wow.
Right. And Elon Musk often just skips breakfast entirely to save time. Might grab a coffee, maybe an omelet sometimes.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? If Musk skips breakfast, are we all overthinking our chia puddings? It certainly shakes up conventional wisdom. So what's the takeaway?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be what they eat.
Exactly. It seems to be the intention again, whether that's consistency for Blakely, comfort maybe for Buffett, or just pure efficiency for Musk. It just really hammers home that there's no single right way. The key seems to be making a conscious choice that fits their goals and energy for the day.
Fascinating. Okay, so mental prep, physical energy, maybe some intentional eating. What about actually getting stuff done? This brings us to the more strategic, creative side of their mornings. Pryor advises, set a top goal. Ask yourself, what's the one thing I want to feel proud of when my head hits the pillow tonight? Helps you focus on what really matters, right, instead of just drowning in a massive to-do list.
Yeah, and that focus leads right into the next idea. Strategize before starting. Successful people don't just, stumble into their day. Laura Vanderkam points out that mornings are perfect for that pre-planning, thinking about how you want the day to go, setting yourself up. It's all about being intentional, designing your day.
And often that planning includes making space for creativity. Vanderkam suggests using the morning for things like working on a novel, writing, painting, stuff you might be too wiped out for later. She argues this dedicated creative time can actually unlock those outside-the-box solutions for work problems later on, like exercising a different part of your brain.
And we see some really powerful examples of this. Rich Roll, remember the athlete? He deliberately keeps his schedule clear before noon, makes time for his own creative stuff like journaling or writing.
It takes discipline.
It does. And Sarah Blakely, again, she turns her short commute into an hour-long drive, just drives around Atlanta. She says it's her absolute best thinking time. Her mind wanders, ideas just come.
An hour-long drive just to think.
Yeah. And Elon Musk, he says lots of his ideas come to him while he's showering.
Huh. Okay, maybe there's something to shower thoughts after all.
Maybe. Then you have the more, let's say, information-based approaches. Warren Buffett spends like 80% of his workday reading financial reports, journals, newspapers, books.
80%.
Yeah. And Bill Gates catches up on headlines, reads the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, The Economist every morning. It's not passive reading. They're actively feeding their minds, sparking connections.
It really shows that creativity isn't just art, is it?
Yeah.
It's giving your brain the space and the input it needs to make new links, whether that's quiet time, reading, or just letting your thoughts drift.
Precisely.
Okay, here's a tip that's maybe a bit unusual, but it connects to that idea of mental flexibility. Reverse your routine once a week. Pryor suggests small things, like brushing your teeth after getting dressed, or taking a different route somewhere. She says these little changes build cognitive flexibility, break those autopilot habits, sets you up for more creative thinking, like hitting a mini reset button for your brain.
That's a really interesting way to kind of shake things up, keep your mind sharp. And building on that awareness, Pryor also advises connect with someone. She suggests sending a quick message that nurtures a relationship, a thank you, a compliment, just checking in before you get lost in tasks, strengthens those personal and professional bonds.
And we see leaders doing this, but maybe in bigger ways than just a text. Whitney Wolfe Herd checks emails and then jumps on calls with her London office first thing, connecting across time zones.
Right, using that early time strategically.
And Tim Cook, again with the early start, 3:45 a.m., he goes through hundreds of emails, but specifically focuses on comments from users. He's deliberately connecting with the people using Apple products.
That's direct connection.
Yeah. And Anna Wintour starts her workday, maybe 8 or 8:30 a.m., with meetings, key team members. These aren't just tasks, they're intentional moments of connection that set the direction.
When you step back and look at all of this, what's really striking is just how different these routines are. You've got the super early birds, right? Tim Cook at 3:45 a.m., Anna Wintour maybe 4 or 5:30 a.m. But then you have people who really prioritize getting 8 hours of sleep. Nadella, Bezos, Buffy, Huffington, they're waking up around 7 a.m. So clearly there's no single magic wake-up time or one set way to do things.
So what's the bottom line here for you listening? The specific actions, they vary wildly. Intense workouts, quiet puttering, coffee, Coke. But the core thing, the intention behind the routine, that seems key. Whether it's aiming for calm or creativity, physical health, planning the day, building connections, each person is purposefully shaping their start, building that foundation.
Exactly that. Success means different things to different people, and it's definitely not about just copying someone else's routine minute by minute, but having some kind of purposeful morning routine. That seems to be a common thread for people who really thrive, in work and in life. It's about taking ownership of those first few hours, building your own mental scaffolding for whatever the day throws at you.
So as you think about all these different approaches we've talked about, here's something to maybe chew on. Given all these ways to intentionally start the day, what's one small intentional shift you can make tomorrow morning? Just one thing to set yourself up for the kind of day you really want to have.